welcome back to another episode of Tailor-Made Rides. Today we're doing some maintenance on the old CJ, and I'm sure you heard it. It's got a couple issues going on. They're all bearing, something's making some noise. That's down the road. But today we're going to try and do an oil change, tire rotation, and try out a new tool I have here, a spark plug cleaner. We actually have two different versions we're going to try out. And if you've never seen one of those before, you're going to see one today. Hopefully save some money as spark plugs are not getting any cheaper. But we'll throw the Jeep up on the lift here, give you guys maybe a walk around of what we're looking at, what kind of vehicle this is for you non-Jeep fans, and dive right into it. 86 CJ5, I believe. It's got the straight six in it, and it is the 4.2 liter, not the 4.0. This one came before that, and this one is, pretty good, pretty solid. It's essentially the same motor. It's got some upgrades done to it, one technically, and thing runs pretty darn sweet. Runs pretty smooth. This is a new remanufactured motor. The original one was unfortunately swapped out. That's a long story, not by me. But this thing does run pretty good. It's basically, period correct. Everything's still got the carb on it, the abundant vacuum lines and crap like that. We did put an HEI distributor in this as the typical GM computer box spark module, not GM, I'm sorry, Chrysler AMC is terrible. Junk, if you've ever worked on one. So we went along with this. Way better, more reliable, because we were having all sorts of drivability issues. We'll show you what we're looking at. So this is our little Jeep engine. You can see our HEI distributor in there. It's just a cute little straight six. Couple of the old service stickers here. You can see it says Jeep AMC on it. This does have, or would have had, air conditioning. I don't believe this one does. I don't believe this one has it. I think this one's just a roll the window down type of deal. But you could tell right there under the air cleaner, that's where all of our extra, we'll say, vacuum lines are and crap like that. But it's a pretty cool old rig. Pretty cool, nice old Jeep. Doesn't have a whole lot of issues. It's pretty clean. We're going to try and wash this today. Make sure it's in good shape. This thing's pretty straight. We're going to wash it, like I said. Make sure all the salt, you can see starting here on the frame, gets all cleaned up. But it's had an exhaust put on it. Sounds pretty good, not going to lie. But it's had some work. This thing's been out of Florida. It's pretty straight. You can see the frame there. It's actually in really, really good shape. I feel kind of bad driving this in the wintertime. But this is about as salty as it's gotten. I really like to keep it clean. You can see up here in the back, it's got a nice little aftermarket bumper on it. I think it's aftermarket at least. But it's got an exhaust. It's a pretty straight Jeep. It doesn't, I believe right here is the only rust it's got. Tackle that down the road at some point. It's been rubber lined, and actually the whole Jeep is this bed liner material. That was done by my uncle. He actually owns this thing. But he's out in Germany right now and letting me drive it, letting family keep it, drive it around for a little bit, keeping it on the road. Better than letting it sit. So we'll go ahead and drop the oil in this. Filter is right there. Might be easier to get from the top, actually. But we'll go ahead, start changing the oil, start checking things off. So, by the way, this guy is for sale. If anyone wants a 54 Buick, let me know. It's a pretty sweet car. It's got the Nailhead V8 in it. It is a 3-speed manual. Nailhead V8, 3-speed. Engine's been gone through, at least the heads. I do not have the bumper. I have the front grille. Doing some body work. We're going to try and paint this thing. Interior is complete, looking really nice, except for the passenger door panel. Everything else is there. Headliner's intact. Like I said, it's got the nail head, white walls. Pretty nice little car. Shoot me an offer if anyone's interested. We will have that back panel put on there. But it'll run with a battery and a coil. Engine spins over nice. Turn it over. But yeah. Anyway, back to the Jeep. All right. Got our drain pan there. We got the oil pan there. You can see we do have a couple leaks going, but it's a Chrysler. When it stops leaking, that's when you got the problem, they say. Oh, that wasn't bad at all. Now, I did drive this thing about 45 minutes or so, so it'll be hot, which is fine. We like being risky here. Oof. Okay, that you can actually see it steaming off, but that definitely needed a change. Let that go. Get this bad boy out of here. Electrocuted here. That would be fun. Woo! Making a mess. All right, gonna go put our drain bolt back in. Some of you may say, you know, you're not letting it drain all the way out. You're never gonna stop. It's never. It's always gonna go. You know, we got the majority of it out, and you always want to replace these crush washers. I did not do as I say, not as I do. Put this bad boy back in, and remember, you don't have to go ridiculously tight. Just a little bit past snug, like there is good. You know what? Just so I can sleep at night, just a little bit. Perfect. Don't have to go crazy with them. Give it a nice wipe down. You always want to spill your oil too, because then that ensures, you know, you're not going to rust everywhere. So, no, try not to. It's a mess. But go ahead, see if I can reach up in there and get this housing cleaned up. So if you live here in the Midwest like myself, specifically northern Illinois, we have Farm and Fleet, Farm and Barn. Got an old AC Delco. Didn't have any wicks or anything like that, but what we're using today, NW40. They didn't have 1540 in the 1 quart. Don't ask me why, but we do have 1540 here, diesel oil, and it should work pretty good. This is an old motor, well, new, but old Jeep. Should be fine. We're gonna put a little bit on that seal. You always want to make sure you put a little bit around there, so that way you get a nice seal, no leaks. And then we'll go ahead, put this new filter in, throw the oil in it. And we're not going to fire it up just yet. We're going to go ahead and pull the plugs out before they get too hot. Snag this one in there. One time in high school, well, I teach high school, but one time when I was in high school, one of my classmates arced. Is this not going to fit? This is the wrong filter? Uh-oh. It's the wrong filter. Well, I can only blame myself. I'm the one that got it. Now, to be fair, I did look it up on their computer system, and that's the one they told me. Not even the right length. Shoot. So I've got some stores of filters and whatnot, and because I'm a hoarder, see if we can get one to match. It's probably going to be one of these crappy Frams that, no offense if you work at a Fram, if you're a Fram fan, I don't like them that much, but I don't want to put this old one back on. But if the seals line up, that one lines up. That one's close. What's 7060? That's a small block. Here, is that a LS motor? I don't know. We'll see if it fits. Close, but no. Well, let's try this one out. Hole's a little smaller. What's our answer gonna be? That's gonna be no as well. It's probably gonna be one of these Frams, which would be fine, I guess, at this point. Oh, Chrysler PT Cruiser. I haven't put this one in here. Fits Ford small 4-cylinder Chrysler PT 2.4 liter. Ooh, this one might be. This is an older one. Look at that. They even show you how to put that on there. That's kind of cool. I'm wanting to say we do not have a win. Nope. Taylor, just go out and get a new one. Get the right one. Yeah, I know. I mean, that one caught some threads. Fits on there. Do we use it? What is this? Is this from this box here? No. All right, so we have two options here. This guy, which is significantly different, but, you know, the rubbers line up, and it's better than the old one, I think. All right, it's on. New filter. Put our stuff back. Looks like we added another one to the list here. I bet some of these have been here from 90s. Could be. All right, filters in, oil drain bolts in. Let's fill this thing up. Okay, get your funnel here and see if it'll auto hold. Oh, look at that. Don't even need a buddy. Okay, throw some oil in this thing, see if it leaks. Farm and Barnes, 5 quarts, I think. Sure, top of my head. I learned, obviously, if you're a fan of Vice Grip, he says it's got a lot of minerals and dinosaurs and stuff, but truth is, it does. It's got a lot of this material that, you know, a lot of these older engines use, because diesels, you know, they have different compounds inside. They run dirtier, use a different oil, obviously, but I like it. I did a little research on it, and they say, yeah. So I run it now in the 65 and my 390 FE. I'm going to run it in this one, run it in all the old classics. You learn a little bit every day. That's what they tell me. So I lied. I said we weren't going to fire it up, but we are. I'm curious on, you know, the oil situation. So we'll see what it does. See how it runs and whatnot. I'm not seeing any leaks, so I think we're good. If you ever seen a oil pump, high volume, regular one, they move a lot. And if you see a cold day, you go out and start your car and it rattles really loud in the first second or two. It's because it's out of oil, but it goes away real quick. Let you know, hey, you know, it's got oil back. So you don't have to run for 10 minutes, 5 minutes. I always let them run for 15 seconds or so, 10 seconds. Go ahead and pull these plugs out, see what our cleaner can do. All right, just because I'm here, sometimes I get distracted. Shade tree mechanic. Perfect. Right on the money. Oil looks good. So when pulling plugs off, or wires off, make sure you twist them as you pull. Otherwise, you run the risk of actually breaking them. And then you're in another 60 bucks. Because wires are not cheap. And I'm going to do these one at a time, just so I don't mess up my firing order here. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I learned that the hard way. Oh, this does have AC. Huh. Why would you put air conditioning in a Jeep? Just take the doors off, right? So that's one of our plugs. See, it's actually not terrible. It's got a weird orange color to it. I do think this motor burns a little coolant, unfortunately. And this is a Champion. It's kind of neat. We'll get the cleaner out here, spark plug cleaner. Show you how that works. So we got our spark plug cleaners here. This is the first one. You can tell it is because, well, it literally says that. And it runs off of electric. You just hook it up to the battery, stick the spark plug in there. You can hear it. It's got some sand in there. You can see it's actually kind of leaking out the side. And then we got our second one. This one's brand new. My dad gave it to me. Pneumatic. Looks like this. It's kind of sweet. Never used it before. It's kind of cool. It's brand new. Sorry about that. Air compressor went off. What we got here is our pneumatic one. Tuck this out. Hold on. Stop. There we go. Got our sand here. And from my limited directions reading, you just pour it on top. And it definitely said make sure you don't exceed 90 psi. Well, my air compressor is set to about 110. So I'm going to leave it there. See what happens. Oh my gosh. There we go. Well, hold on. Okay. Nope, all the way in, I guess. Okay. See what it looks like. Pull it out. The same, I think. Let's try it again here. So I'm going to say that did nothing. Well, I can feel stuff on my hand, so maybe it's not quite. All right. So I think it's. I'm going to put this one on pause. It's all right. Thanks, Dad. Appreciate it. But it blew the seal out. Well, I did, I guess. See if I can maybe put it back in there. We'll try out our electric one here. This one I have used once before. Gave me the idea for this. And I like it pretty well. And then first the little side button. And it runs. It says don't run it without anything in there. Okay. So right off the bat, it's kind of dusty. But I think it's getting better. I still see a significant amount of orange, if I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's getting, or is that just from me wiping it down with a rag? No, it's wet now. Let's try it out. That made some noise. Just shot a bunch of that in my eye. All right, so this is what we're working with. Definitely better. Try and knock some of that off. We'll keep going. Do the rest of them, I suppose. So I decided we're not going to rotate tires on this. Probably going to do them next oil change. You get a little bit of chop, a little bit. It's kind of when you run your hand up the side of the tire here, mostly on the edges. And if it kind of bites back at you, this one has just a little bit, feathering, some people call it. This one just has a little bit of it. Not terrible. These tires are relatively new. It's fine. Relatively new. So we're going to run them. I think that just might have been a wheel bearing, maybe needing some grease. But, yeah, the other ones are doing okay. This Jeep really hasn't had that many miles on it. Maybe 1,000 at most. I mean, this thing sits more than it gets driven, unfortunately. So I think we're going to keep going with the way we are and rotate them next time. So I am going to go ahead and start washing this thing. And I like to get these old vehicles up in the air. You can crawl down, do them at the car wash and whatnot, but obviously you got the shop. And we're just going to go ahead and get the entire underside. That's where all the salt is, try and get all the nooks and crannies. And I like to do this once a week, something thorough like this, once every 2 weeks maybe. If I get really distracted, it gets down to once a month. But at definitely springtime, when after a good rain comes, it washes all that salt away. You want to get your vehicle, classic or not, hose them down best you can. Trust me, it'll be worth the 20 minutes you're outside getting them cleaned up. Take that nice spring day. If it's like 60 degrees out, clean them up. It only helps. Can't get worse. So we'll get out here, clean them up, make it nice. clean up my oil spill here. BP, is that you? I'm probably gonna get a lawsuit for that one. Gonna start here in the front. Let's get this thing cleaned up and see if we can make it nice. I'm just using a standard garden hose here. Nothing crazy. Easy. Easy now. I'm gonna get soaked. Getting everywhere. What we want. If you can get it with the hose, salt's been in there, so you know it needs to be washed. Yep, need to close the window. Don't hit that, Noah. Oh yeah. Start in the front, work your way back. All right. That'll do it. Thanks for watching this episode of kind of Jeep maintenance, upkeep on this thing, oil change, spark plug cleanup, spark plug cleanup, whew, and of course, super duper deep clean. Flooded out the shop. Spend the next 20 minutes here cleaning up. But if you liked what you saw, subscribe, follow, comment. Let me know if you got a classic Jeep or Jeep in general, if you're a fan of it. If you'd like to see this thing again, do something down the road, let me know. I'm going to start cleaning up, but thanks for watching. Have a good day.